Everyone, welcome to another day of Be Agile Scrum. We are into another day of this, and we have transitioned from Agile to business analysis, and we are in another week of it. So, before we begin, let me quickly remind you with the ground rules on day one, which we had, and in between, it is quite necessary for we need to revisit the ground rule, and then we'll get into the topic. For that, I'm going to share my screen, and the moment you get to see my screen, please let me know that you do see it. So please say yes if you all can see that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for your
Yes.
Yes.
quick confirmation. And especially, thank you again, especially for those who joined well before time. I really want to thank you all because the very first ground rule says that show up live, either in person or online. And to follow this, you need to be on time, remain punctual, and highly committed. And you are one of them who joined well before time. In case few of you, if you are not practitioner of it, Agile demands you to follow this. And in case of non-practitioners, consider this training itself as a project and then follow these, because once you consider it as a project and you follow this, by default you start developing this as a trait in you, and it will be quite easy for you once you get placed to demonstrate. Why? Because it is said that how you do anything is how you do everything. uh, you chose to learn. Many of you still coming from the IT background, and you still also chose to learn. You became a student, but we want you to be the full stack student. When we say full stack student learner, it means that let me not call you the full stack student, let me call you full stack learner. Okay. So when I say full stack learners, what does it mean? It means that one who does all the assignments, do self research, and repeat what they learn. Okay. And while you do so, and you continue to do so, it's quite easy for you to hit the success, and you can take the full responsibility of that. But when you don't do, you hit the success or failure. What you will hit if you don't do that? What you will hit, everyone? You can unmute and say.
Failure.
So failure.
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 Failure. And it is quite tough. Thank you so much for answering. And it is quite tough for us to take the full responsibility of that. But yeah, definitely when you hit the success, you can take the credit of it. Okay. When you finish, you start and you hit the success, you take the credit of it. But when you don't finish what you start, or you don't even start, when you hit the failure, you don't take credit, but you give credit. And when you give credit, it turns to become blame. Okay. You give the reasons, because this was not supporting, that was not supporting, there are multiple reasons. And it is said that whether either you can produce a reason or you can produce a result. So when you take the full responsibility of the failure, what happens? You may go back, you accept it, you correct it, and when you correct it, you will find that the failure was not a failure, that became trail to the success, or call it as a part of the success. And then it will be quite easy for you to again take the full responsibility of that. But all it starts from taking the full responsibility of both the elements. So remember to take the full responsibility of both the elements in a way that you help your own self. But to do so, it really requires a very concrete mindset. The very first one, inspired from Lean's Kaizen, means continuous improvement. And for that, you need to inculcate the learning mindset. More learning minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more positive minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more complaint free, in a way that you can deliver any result even with the stringent timeline and with the lack of resources. More you can do that, you will find yourself getting loaded in more gratitude, and that leads to the highest level of productivity. Do so but to do so, you need to be a giver. Giver means keeping ego away on the path of learning. That makes you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. It is quite necessary for those who are especially coming from the background for which you are learning. And when I say spiritually grounded, it means that your happiness level enhances, and happiness is today's new productivity, especially in an agile, and that is the demand of the corporate today. And while you do so, you remember that you are not here just to learn but also to earn more. And when you it says that earn more, it means that to earn more, it is said that to gain anything more you must start giving away the portion of that. And if you want to earn more, start giving away the portion of that. Where you can give away, you can give away to the causes wherever you believe in case you are not earning, can you at least have an intention that you will give away to the causes wherever you believe in? That could be the charity, the causes like feeding hungry children or orphanages. At least once you get placed, the 5% of 10% you can give away, like even in old age home or churches, mosque, gurudwara or temple. Why? Because when you give you grow, when you receive you may survive. And I'm sure that none of you are here for the survival but for the growth. But while you do so, remember to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And even it doesn't sound initially that it is helping you invisibly, continue to do so, because another universal law that says that what you appreciate appreciates you back. And while you do so, remember that you start your day with an enhanced level of receptivity. And for that, I generally recommend, in inverted comma recommend, this is not the mandatory, for you to participate in a 30 days challenge. 30 days challenge is an audio program that you can plug in your ear while you jog or walk or simply do your cardios, and put it in 2x mode, listen to it, and you will see and get amazed by the kind of result it will be producing throughout the day for every single outcome you perform throughout the day. But one catch is that because you need to take it as a 30 days challenge, any single days you miss it, you need to repeat it from the next day as a day one. And because it is a recommendation, I generally only give this challenge to those who ask for it. After the session, you can definitely DM me saying 30DC, and in a result I'll share the link with you so that you can participate in it. And second, while you are increasing your receptivity, start any technical session with the this golden quadrant of learning that comes with the four easy step, where the first and second we do it here, third and fourth is expected from you to do. Okay, what happens in this first and second? The first step says that declaration with the anchor. What is declaration, why to declare, and what is the anchor, and the science behind it, everything in detail I have already spoken about it in the day one's recording. Kindly refer to that. And once you do declaration with the anchor, then then take a deep dive into deep learning. After only 24 hours, you follow the third step that says that draw using pen and paper, scribing on a piece of paper. You can scribe like this, whatever you have learned earlier day, recalling from there, from your memory. And this third step is done. Then go to the fourth step that says that summarize. How you are going to summarize in a way flaunting the drawing, saying that you are going to explain those drawing as your notes in less than 90 seconds, minimum, or maximum up to 3 minutes, not more than that, in a way that even 5 years old can understand. So these are the four step. Why we need to follow the four step again and again and again for every single new learning? Because if you are novice, you will be amazed to see that when you track your own summary, you will be amazed how far you have come from novice to expert. And if you are expert already, and if you are able to do that, you will be able to pat on your back that how easily you are sounding like a pro in this. And it will be your go to summary all the time, prepared well for you to get place. So that we are going to do. So let's start with the first and second over here, declaration with an anchor, and then take a deep dive deep to the deep learning. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put the anchor first. I'll be counting one, two, three, and then self high five. Just now you heard on your speaker, this was the self high five, that's the clap. So I'll be counting one, two, three, and clap. You are going to model me, and then you are going to repeat after me the selected statement on your screen. Just unmute yourself and say yes if you all can see the selected statement on your screen. Can you all?
Yes.
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 So kindly
Yes.
model me now. One, two, three. Thank you. Kindly model me now. One, two, three, and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a
I'm
quick
a
I'm a
quick
quick
learner.
learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
What
others
What
can
others
others
learn,
can
can
learn
learn,
and
master.
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 I too can do that.
I too
I
can
too
do
I
can
that.
do
too can
that.
do that.
One more time with the next statement, which I just now selected. One, two, three, and clap and repeat. Because I'm a quick learner,
Because I'm
Because
a
I
quick
am
Because
a
I'm a
quick
learner,
quick
learner,
learner,
today's learning is going to be
today's
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 learning is
learning
learning
going
is
is
to
going
going
be
to
to
be
be
super duper easy to me.
super duper
super
easy
duper
to
easy
me.
to
easy to
me.
me.
Yes, it is going to be because you said so. And in case any of one of you found it bit awkward while repeating and modeling me, remember to follow the fifth code of honor. And how we are going to remain connected throughout the week is here. Sunday, you show up like today at 10 p.m. EST. Monday, you are going to show up tomorrow at 10 p.m. EST for technical session. Tuesday, this is quite important because you need to remember that you are not here to learn, but you are here to get placed. And for that, every single Tuesday, you need to show up for the RRP session. RRP is the reference ready resume preparation where all the RRP team works. And here is the go to place where you can speak up anything which has nothing to do with the training, but any other context or concern you want to raise over here. You will be speaking with your HR, with marketing team, RRP team, and Devji himself will be sitting here. So this is the opportunity for you to not only to speak, but this is where it helps you to enhance your visibility, uh, puts in your credibility in front of RRP team, thereby strengthen your marketability. And because this is the gateway for your placement, so you need to show up. And it may sound when you are showing up again and again that things are repetitive. Despite its repetitive ability, you still need to show up until you get placed. Remember this four words as a mantra that you are showing up into RRP session until you get placed, especially if you are very well versed with all the IT related or agile BS Scrum track related lingos material, and you find yourself a bit prepared and ready to crack the interview. Go ahead and be the part of RRP, because from here you will be getting placed. Profile optimization, LinkedIn resume preparation, and all those item happens over here. Wednesday you need to do the assignment, be it said or unsaid, from the learning of Sunday. So what is said assignment, what is unsaid assignment, all the details I have already spoken about it on the day one's recording. Please refer to that. Thursday, again, you will be getting the opportunity to attend the RRP session. Please don't miss that. You know, this is the gateway to placement that enhances your visibility, credibility, and marketability. And Friday, you do the assignment from the learning of the Monday, be it said or unsaid. And Saturday, you choose to relax, have a breather day, or do your research work and repeat what you have learned, or prepare any question that you want to answer on the next technical session. Any questions so far? Because I have just now, after a long time, I have repeated it. Any question in this?
No.
Okay, I take
No.
No.
take this silence as a no. In case you have at all, you need to refer to the day one's recording. Now, having said so, let's go back from where we had left off. So let me switch on the switch on the diagram which we had come across last time. Did we learn about fishbone diagram last time? Yes. Do you
Yes.
all agree? Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Yes.
look at it. Thank you for your responses, guys. So let's look at it, what we had learned so far. So the fishbone diagram is a what sort of diagram you see? The next three letters?
Cause and effect diagram.
Cause and effect diagram, you're right. That helps managers to track down the reason for imperfection, variations, defects, or failures. And for that, I put one of the example from my experience. Okay. The fishbone diagram identifies many possible causes for a problem. Okay. But every time you are finding the causes, but you need to reach to the root. Where you need to reach, everyone?
To the
The
root.
root.
To root. And this tool is used in order to identify problems root cause, and that's the reason it is also called as what sort of diagram?
Root cause analysis.
Yes, absolutely right. That's the reason it is called as root cause diagram as well. And the activity is called as what sort of analysis? Do you read last three words in the third bullet point?
Root cause analysis.
Root cause
Yes, you are
analysis.
right. Root cause analysis. And the fourth one, bullet point, it says here that This diagram looks like just like a fish's skeleton with the problem at its head and the causes for the problem feeding into the spine. And causes of the problem can be either machine equipment, people, manpower, or say person power, I will call it, not the manpower. Why to be biased? Okay, let me correct it. Is that all right to be non biased and say person power instead of the manpower? Ladies, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your support. And materials, environment, and extra. So these can be the problem, and how did we dig deeper into that? We learned last time. Now is the point where we are going to learn about another diagram to which we call it as, what do you read on the heading of it?
Process flow diagram.
Process flow
Yes,
diagram.
you are right. Process flow diagram. What is this? So, this is the visual presentation, and that indicates the flow of the process. And each step in the sequence is noted within the diagram shape. We are going to look at it like today, many of you have submitted for the activity diagram. I'm yet to check them, and I'll be responding to only those initially who need some correction into that. Okay. So is that all right? First preference will be to those who will require to some correction. And if I'm not talking about your diagram, uh, can be the two reason. Either I have not looked at it, or second, I don't need to tell anything because this has come down perfect. Okay, so in only these two scenario I won't be talking about it, but definitely I'll be talking about yours if it requires any improvement, any suggestion, or any notes to be conveyed to you. And the another hack is that in case you have posted your diagram after someone,
हो गया मम्मा ने
uh,
करी सिखवा दी
someone
શકે
says,
તું શું કે છે
okay, someone is speaking, and I'll be putting you on mute if I may hear back again as an interruption. But yeah, definitely everyone can remain unmuted if you're willing to support me and talk about learning. But in case you think that you need to support back at your surrounding, for that I would request you to remain muted. Otherwise, I'll have to put you on mute if I find that you are supporting at the background at your end, and will continue if you remain unmuted and you are supporting me in this process. Is that all right, everyone? Do we all agree? Can we all agree on this? What I said?
Yes.
Say
Yes.
yes. Yeah. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much for your response. Appreciate that. So coming back to this process flow diagram, I was talking about activity flow diagram that you guys have posted on the WhatsApp group. So I was saying that if I pick Mr. Y's, or not Y or X, I'll give the real time example. Say for example, I picked up Sweta's activity diagram and I gave some comment, and before that Aarti has already posted. And in case I have no provided no comment to the Aarti, and directly I am providing to Sweta who is after Aarti, it means that Aarti has to not to worry about her activity diagram has come up good. But at the end, once I checked everyone's diagram, it anyway you are all of you are going to get a thumbs up on your diagram if it is correct. Else I'll be conveying you any improvement is there in that or not. Okay, is that all right for those activity diagram submission?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much. Yeah. All right, coming back to process flow diagram. So each step in the sequence is noted in the diagram shape. Steps are linked by connecting lines and directional arrows. When I say that, did you observe in many of the diagram, there is one foundational link that once you are aware of this kind of diagram well before you are learning here. Okay, there is some commonality you might have find in activity diagram, process flow diagram, that you are bit of the familiar of such kind of drawing, or such kind of chart. Did you observe that? Yes, no? Are you aware of these diagrams?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, where you have found this diagram earlier before this before this Be Agile Scrum learning, before Guru schools?
No, I wasn't aware.
Come on, you have.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you
Flow
have. In
charts
fact,
in a,
Flow
yeah,
charts and
computers.
yes,
Yeah, flow
yeah.
charts. Yeah.
You remember now?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
Yeah.
did computer class in school.
Yeah. In
Yes, even
schools.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
in school
Yeah.
and classes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the foundation of these diagrams are the flow charts, and because we are aware of flow chart, it will be quite easy for you to draw these activity diagram and process flow diagram. Okay. And it indicates here every nodes will be linked with each other, and this allows to view the flow chart and logically follow the process from beginning to end. So how it will begin, how it will end. So generally, if you look at what in activity diagram, what we saw that the start point was a thick big black dot, right? It was the starting point in activity diagram. But when it needed to end or terminate the process, this dot has to be encircled. Okay, so this we saw in activity diagram. In the process flow diagram, we have this shape for start and end. Okay, and oval represents a start or end point. Noted? Yes? Yes, no?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. You will also see arrow, and this will be the connector. These type of arrows, whether uh, perpendicular or say vertical arrow or horizontal arrow. So these connects the two input, establishing or showing the relationship as a connector that will represent to the two different shapes. We will also see input boxes and output boxes like this. That will be the parallelogram, indicating that what input you are giving and what outcome you are expecting. Now, when it has to undergo certain process, you will see such a rectangle as a indicating to process, and always you will find even in activity diagram or in this process flow diagram, this will be the decision box, okay, in the diamond shape. So it will tell you to choose one decision, either yes or no, or correct or incorrect, or true or false. With me so far?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer. So the step says that in while making the business process flow diagram that you will be embedding into your requirement document, that you need to determine the main component of the process first because you are going to build the process. Okay. Then you will order those activities and club them into those process flow diagram. Okay, you will embed them into the process flow diagram. You will choose the right symbol from here. Okay, from here for each activities, and make the connection between the activities by using these arrows. Okay, and then indicate the beginning and end of the process by using this shape, and review your business process diagram using this shape. Okay, for any decision you will be using this shape. So let's enter into one process flow diagram, and what sort of process it is talking about. Let me flip to that example. Okay, I'll be flipping that to that example. Now this is the kind of a sales activity. You look at it, let me maximize it, and let me know if you can see its enhanced shape. Can you see its enhanced visibility?
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes.
Yeah, bit better. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now it says that here four sections are involved. One is customer itself, involved in some kind of purchase, and when customer is involved in purchases, okay, then there is a department called sales department. They initiate here. From here, start with the sales call. Okay, and there is the management involved there, and there is a credit department involved, four section. Okay, now here sales call initiated, and finally sales has to be approved. So this is the start and this is the end. Now the process says that the process says this. Okay, where it is. Okay, the process says that two things happens in parallel. One is customer buys product based on the sales call, and at the same time representative make an entry of the order. Okay, while customer buys the product, credit form is generated, and when the order entry happens, order form is generated. Okay, now both goes for the approval to the management. Okay, and then for this particular customer, because order form has been also generated and credit form has been also generated, in this what management checks for whether this sales has happened on the credit or uh, pre-filled balance. Okay, and based on that it takes a decision. Okay, if credit is checked and this is okay, then it checks for further account whether it has to be receivable. If it is receivable, is it okay under the control, under the balance, then it continues to calculate the credit term and issue a report to the management, so that management carries forward to the sales and sales to the customer. Okay, and in case the calculation of the credit term is okay, the term gets approved and thereby the sales get approved. That happens when the account receivable was okay. But if the credit is at the high end, it will go back for the credit check and finds why it happened. If it was the bad credit, then sales will not approve. So how we will relate it with within the scenario. Imagine you are going for checking in. By the way, everyone is with me so far because I kept on speaking, did not hear you back. Are you all with me? Say
Yes.
yes if you are
Yes.
still hearing.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So imagine you are traveling down to another city. Okay, another city. I believe you are not there in Melbourne. Okay, in Australia, you flew down to Melbourne, and there you are looking for. No, you did not flew down. You're planning to fly down to Melbourne, and for that, well in advance, you are checking for the checking for what? For your stay. Okay, you connected with the hotel, you speak with hotel, and they ask for your credit card entry. They said that we won't charge you, but we will keep reserve the amount for the authorization purpose. Have you come across first ever such situation? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
That hotel generally keeps your some amount for the authorization purpose. Once you will check out, they will deduct. If you don't show up, it doesn't bother your card. Okay, nothing happens to your card. So they take the approval, and sometime what happen if you are their frequent buyer, frequent customer, these all game happens over here where account receivable is checked, where sales happens, does not happen for bad credit or good credit or high balance, it is checked. Are you able to relate this example? Yes,
Yes.
that yeah. So
Yes.
sometime what happens if hotels runs any program with some discount, for that also they make you sales call, and based on that, based on your information, they further checks for the bad credit, good credit, and they proceed with the sales approval. So that was another example of the process flow diagram. Since we have seen the process flow and we have seen the activities, now we have to be very much aware that where we are going to put the process flow diagram and activities diagram. So process flow diagram, under the activities, some activities you will find repetitive. Can you find, do you agree that some activities sometime in some business are generally repetitive? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for those, you are going to produce the process flow diagram, but only to represent the activities one after another in a stepwise manner. You will choose an activity diagram. Okay. Whatever explanation you think for one requirement you need to explain, you choose for that and produce that type of diagram. With me so far, everyone? Yes, you are going to decide how you are going to explain one requirement. See, what happens generally, friends, that whenever it comes to explaining something, okay, do you see even me as a teacher or trainer try to opt for one example? If it conveys you very easily, that's okay. If not, I opt for another example and try to make sure that it goes to your mind until you understood. Do you follow this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Likewise, when you are producing any requirement or trying to produce that requirement, elaborate that requirement, and trying to convey that, and if you choose that activity diagram will elaborate every single activity, and it may happen that I need to elaborate in the activities certain processes, you can choose to showcase that. And if you see that it is well understood, your instinct follows whether your audience is going to relate with it or not. Okay, and that is the time you choose for it. With me so far? Yeah. Yes,
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but what happens when you create any document, dear friend? So it goes for approval also, authorization also to your, there are some approvals of some documents. Okay. When you go through the various document, you will see the document author's name is there, what sort of version they are creating for those document. If I happen to showcase that, let me pull one of those kind of document and I'll be sharing that document with you as well. So allow me to pull that. I need to access something for that. Let me check if I can. I'm opening one document. In fact, second document as well I will open. Okay. So I have just opened one document. It says the requirement management plan document. Okay. Now you see here, it talks about the versions history. Can you all see that? Yes, no?
Yes.
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 Yeah. It also talk about another section which says that prepared by name, title and date when it happens and approved by. So generally in each document you will find these section. Generally, if you have not found, you can have. If you have for any document, there are multiple authors. Okay. And thereby there will be multiple approvals or approvers, or it may happen that various draft or various version have been approved by the same person in the different dates, and what they have seen, what they have communicated, that comes into the description of change, and thereby you will be picking up the next version. Okay. So whatever you have chosen activity diagram, and say you did not choose for the process flow diagram because you think that it was not necessary, approver may suggest you later that whether you need to include or not, or whether you have included is okay, or if you have not decided to continue to develop that, even that is okay. So for that you can be go carefree and choose that what you need to explain in the requirement documents. Having said so, there are multiple visual analysis models. So far we are learning. Few we are going to look at it are visual modeling, workflow diagram, entity relationship diagram, WBS, and conversion to design, along with some documents and template for your understanding purpose. Let me flip the slide again. Okay, I'm just closing this. So far, any question, guys? Because I'm flipping the slide, you can use this for asking question.
Gaurav, can
Okay.
you go back to the process flow diagram, please? I have a question.
Oh, okay. I just closed that, but yeah,
Oh,
definitely I'll
I
go
can
back.
see it.
Okay. And you can see, but I'm somewhere else.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll still give you
No,
answer.
I
Wait,
just have
wait.
a
Yeah,
so
go ahead with the question if you can.
about the shapes. So we were talking about the parallelogram. In the parallelogram, we'll have the input and output, and in
Right.
the rectangle, we'll have the process. But the process flow that you were just now showing, I didn't see any parallelogram.
Okay, wait a second. Yeah, you did not see that. So what happens when you will refer to BA Bach 1.0, okay, when you will refer to, you are talking about this, right?
Yeah, right,
Parallelogram.
right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, input and output. So
Right.
for input and output, they have generally this, and this is for the process. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What you see here is for the process, they have identified this NBA box 3. Okay. And this they have identified the process. Okay. And this is quite similar to your input box as well. So this is the one small change between BA box 1.0 and 3.0, and that's the reason you are not able to find. However, even if you follow these shape, that is also okay, because that has been the part of bu book as well. All right, see.
Because I didn't see the shape that it's on the slide 36 I'm talking about. Um
Yeah, so
I
what I
didn't see
said
the shape
with
in
your
lucid
response.
chart, so I was wondering.
Yeah, so did you get my answer then?
So you are saying where it says for the sales, it says sales call, and then you have order entry and then order
No, it means
form.
that you did not hear what I said. Anyone else who heard me what I said? Why we don't see here input and output as parallelogram, but we say this one, and for the process we saw this kind of a shape.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
as per
BA.
box 3, right?
BABOK
Yeah.
1.0 and BABOK 3.0, there is a slight change into that. However, even if you'll go with this shape, that is okay, because it has been the part of BABOK as well. Did you get your answer, Seep, now?
So that was Shweta, sorry. So
Sorry, sorry. So
no, that's
this
okay.
is the smaller
Yeah.
change. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
yeah, and then I have another question. So I did not find the shape in the lucid chart that I was working with for the activity diagram. So I'm
So
not.
in activity diagram, you don't have to go ahead with this shape. Okay, you don't have to go ahead with this shape. This is for process flow diagram. Okay. We are
Okay.
not talking about the process in activity diagram. It is only the steps and activity.
Okay.
Okay, Shweta.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's
can
fine.
I proceed?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for asking. And guys, feel free to ask any question like Shweta. So this is very good practice from her. When she finds that there is certain discrepancy, she comes up with that. And I notice that always she comes up with the very good question. So with this note, can you please give a round of applause to Shweta for asking that? Thank you so much, Shweta, for asking and noticing.
Thank you for
Okay, appreciate.
explaining for it.
Yeah, you're most welcome.
Mhm.
Now we were talking about these business analysis model. Few you have known so far: activity diagram, mind map, product roadmap, SWOT analysis, fishbone, and process flow diagram. And business analysis models will continue, and it will continue because earlier you need to define the processes. Now you don't need to define the processes, and you define it to depict the processes through the designs, and thereby there when it comes the process flow diagrams, and in that few visual modeling we are going to look at it. Okay, business domain model, model, UI wireframe, prototype. So this is one of the example to which we call it as a workflow diagram. What we call it as?
Workflow diagram.
Workflow diagram.
Yes, Aarti Priyanka, thank you. Yes. So with the workflow diagram, we are going to learn one more important thing in the workflow diagram itself. Okay. So in this workflow diagram, can you guess what else we are learning? Anyone from IT background, they can easily guess it. Okay.
Defects.
Defects. Yeah. Right. So this is called as bug life cycle or defect life cycle. Okay. How when you identify any discrepancy into the system, how you should intimate about that discrepancy into the any project management or incident management tool. Okay, that you are going to learn using workflow diagram. Using what, everyone?
Workflow
Workflow
diagram.
diagram.
Workflow diagram.
Yes, Dara, Aarti, everyone. So, first, at the first stage, what happens? Anyone, it's not just a tester, okay? Anyone find a defect, okay? It could be any sort of defect. Logo is not the way we want, okay? In logo, it was the U, but you are showing is the, shape, means, uh, it's like opposite you, or it's a kind of a forming an A, okay? or you is not you, it's like we, something like that, you find any kind of a discrepancy. So it says that in incident management tool, you create one incident, and when you will create, its status will become automatically new. What will be the status of that incident will become, everyone?
New.
New.
New. And the moment you log it, then its development project manager has to analyze it. Okay. And it has to analyze for three things. How many things, everyone?
Three things.
Three things. Yes, Dhara, Priyanka, Anushri, and Aarti. Yes, for three things. The first, he checks whether it is valid defect or not, whether it is part of scope or not. And if it is part of scope, all right. If not, simply reject it. They will say, I'm not going to fix it. They will assign back to you because they will comment it. This is not in the scope. This is not what customer has asked for. With me so far, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next decision they are going to take, if it was a valid defect, uh, okay, is it in the scope? So let me repeat what I said. When they say valid defect, there are multiple reasons. The valid decision can be either it is in scope or out of scope, or it can be valid means whether you have understood the requirement and according to requirement you have given the right defect, or in case you have misunderstood and you have given no. Say for example, it says that it has to be in the U shape, and to the U itself you are reading somehow V. So that is one of the example. Second example is that you misread the requirement, and because you misread, you produce the bad defect. They will simply say that it is not valid. Okay. If you say that my at my system, because you understand that in your system there is a resolution in your PC. Yes, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And because of the resolution, they say, the customer says that we follow this resolution of 1980 into 680 or 880 or 2040 of the resolution, and we will be testing on such machine as well. However, your resolution is bit different. Okay. And in your resolution, your button, any clickable button, is going out of the visibility. Okay. And it is bit cut, and you have not tested this in any another's machine, and you reported that bug, that this button is not completely visible. Dev manager will see that how it is looking at another system, and whether it is with the recommended resolution or not. They will also see your your screenshot or any proof of the defect, and they may come back and tell you, hey, please attach the resolution proof. So when they identify there is a discrepancy into your resolution and the recommended resolution, they say that this is going to be, this defect will be rejected because this is not as per the recommended resolution. With me so far, everyone? Why this will be out of validity? Why this won't be the valid effect? Everyone got it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you
Yeah.
get this example, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Aarti, and thank you, Sweta. So, the next level comes in the scope. Scope means you thought of an enhancement or something which is not in the requirement document, or it could come for the requirement, but it has not mentioned in the current requirement. So because you know that this may come, but right now it has not to be responded. Okay, right now developers don't need to spend their time onto that, and such defect will not be marked as rejected, but they will be anyway rejected, but for temporary purpose, and to such status of incident will get turned into what? Into what do you read here?
Defer.
Is defer. That's absolutely right. So, if they say now, if this is in scope, they will also see if it is scope, has it been reported already? Okay. If it is reported already, what it will be marked as?
Duplicate.
Duplicate, it
Duplicate.
means that rejected, you can't do anything. Now in the next decision, if it is not marked as reported, then the manager will assign it to whom? To developer. Okay, and they will start fixing it, and when they will start working on it, this new status which has been turned into accepted will be marked as in progress by the developer, and the moment it will be fixed, it will be either marked as fixed or resolved and will be assigned to the reporter who has reported it. It could be tester, business analyst, or anyone in the organization. And then the reporter will retest it. And the moment they find that, okay, this is exactly not working the way it is expected, they will reopen it. And then the reopened status will become what? Either reopened or it will be assigned back to them. Okay, so generally the status is reopened. What is the status?
Reopen.
Reopen, and it will be assigned. If the system or the incident management tool is smart, it will assign back to the developer who had worked on it already in the past. Okay, then developer will follow all the things all the way, and once again it comes for you to testing, then you can test it pass, mark it pass, and then the final status will become closed. Okay, what will be the final status of incident when you pass it?
Close.
Closed.
Closed.
So this is the entire journey or life cycle of a defect or incident or any discrepancy you find in the system from the requirement. With me so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is
Yes.
this is one action, only one. On one action you are showing the flow, how it flows from its birth to death. Okay, from its existence to non-existence. Okay, this this is not permanent. The defects are temporary, that can be eliminated, and this is one work which will flow till its non-existence, and that's the reason it is called as workflow diagram in this case, in defect life cycle. With me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
let's move to the another diagram which is called as diagram. What it is called as?
ER diagram.
Yeah, and let me quickly check if Prerna has joined and she can take this. Okay, I see she is not there. Okay, okay, I think she's not there. Fantastic. No problem. So this is one other example. Okay, it denotes to the various entities in boxes and its relationship with the table. Okay, so when we see that where its first relation goes to. Okay, for the very first relation. Okay, um, and it has no connection with any another table. Okay, it has no connection with any other table. What may happen that you will find there are certain changes in the connection of those table. When we are giving you the example of connection, you don't have to worry about what sort of connection. You need to worry what is happening inside using this connection. Okay, generally this diagram is created by whom? Either by technical business analyst, or it is created by what we call it, by the developers or architect. It won't be, or a database administrator. This diagram may not be created by functional business analyst or functional consultant. Okay, so imagine a scenario. Okay, in this scenario what happens, you were given one uh, as a functional business analyst, you are given a task to create one design for uh, one outlet of apparel, which needs to access the data what they store for their customer. Okay, and uh, the using the diagram, the system has been developed and this is in the place. And imagine what happens at the store. You walk in to the counter. Okay, And what happens? You inquire for one of what? One of any apparel. Okay. And I need a quick volunteer. Any energetic one can say yes to me first. And the first yes, I will be responding to you. Give me one yes, anyone who
Yes.
can be a quick. Yeah, thank you so much, Vijay. So, Vijay, you walk into one apparel outlet and you ask for one product, and I'm at the counter and I'll be asking you certain questions. Okay, so my first question is, what exactly you are looking for, Vijay? So you can tell me any sort of answer, what product you are looking for in apparel or in
I'm
garment.
I'm looking for a polo t-shirt.
Okay, so you are, he will say he is looking for t-shirt. Okay, he has not made, I am not expecting him to tell me brand yet. Okay, so say for example he says that he is looking for a t-shirt. Now further I would ask, are you looking for full sleeves or half sleeves or hoodie one? Any specific choices you have? So
Half
I'm
sleeves.
half sleeves, I am looking for the category, and he mentions that. Now I will go more deeper. Okay, so I will ask further, okay, do you what size you wear, sir? So Vijay will give me the answer of that, what size I should be looking for.
Medium.
Medium. So I'm in the medium. Then further I'll ask, do you have any color preference? So he will come up with the color preference and he will answer me. What he will answer?
Black or white.
Black or white. So I will make sure where is the black and where is the white. Okay, and the moment I ask so many queries from, and at the same time I'm firing this query into my application at the counter when I am looking at my laptop or in the application in the laptop. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
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 Yeah. So
Yeah.
on front end, I am just firing the query, but at the back end, what is happening? At the back end, every single query at the front end is invoking or penetrating in the database, inside the database to the table, and from the table it is fetching the information from the record, and it is now finally gave me as an answer the location of what Vijay was looking for. I might call to the attendant and would say and locate him that go at the left side towards the third last shelf. This color of two t-shirts are there. Please hand over to Vijay, let him try, and then he comes back, ask him to come back. Now Vijay selects one or both, and then he comes back to me, and he then I further ask. Now in this what happens, I will create a new record where I am asking his name, address and contact, and I will generate one order with the date and amount and will hand over to him. Now these details will get fed into the system and will become the part of the entity and relationship in the database. In the will become the part of a table and remain as an entity into the database. Okay, so this is a quick representation tool of ER diagram, and more or less it is developed by whom? Developed by generally developers, okay, or database administrator, or generally we give such information as a functional consultant to database administrator or any developer, and then they when they understand, they can create such a diagram and make sure that that will become the part of document for them to understand and refer it back. Okay, now with the agile, what has happened, we have broken down all the requirement into the multiple user story. Multiple what, everyone?
User
User
story.
User
stories.
stories.
User stories, and those user story individually sitting into the project management or product management or incident management tool like Jira or Azure DevOps or something else. And there such diagrams are created or asked to developers to create and attach in those users story to support those user story in more detailed manner. Okay, with me so far, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
are you understanding these? Yes, yes, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. This, if you have seen, now comes the real work from you, from for which I'm going to talk. Okay, and this sort of diagram is called as this. Visual model number 3, this is called as either UI wireframe or mockup. What these are called as?
You have wireframes or mockup.
Mockup. Yes. Now, when we say UI wireframe, these are also called as UI prototype. What these are also called as?
UI
Prototype.
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 Prototype. And there are 3 types of UI prototype. How many types?
Retyped.
Three.
Three
Type.
Three.
Types.
One is high, another is medium, and third one is low. So, what all are these 3 UI prototype?
Low, medium, and
High,
high.
medium,
Low,
low.
medium, low, medium, high.
You call it high, medium, low, medium, high. So these are called as low fidelity UI prototype, medium fidelity UI prototype, high fidelity UI prototype, or you will hear it to be verbalized as UI wireframe. Okay. Now let me quickly tell you how does it sound and how does it look like. All right. So for that, you are developing a requirement. There are different types of requirement may come up to you. Okay, the very first one, uh, requirement where you don't have any idea that what the look alike will be. So before I go into the deeper level of this wireframe mockup creation, you need to know as a business analyst what we are talking about, but maximum work will be done nowadays by different team who are also called as this type of team. Okay, they will be known as this team. What they are known as? What do you read here?
UI,
BIVX.
It is you. Now see, you read. Okay, now what do you read?
UI, UX.
UI, UX.
UI
UX.
UX team. Okay, generally they are part of development team, but however you also need to be the part of that because somewhere you also play a vital role over here. So what exactly happened when customer says and translates their desire or expectation into the requirement, what you note that initially you may not be aware of that what sort of button they are expecting, or visual representation they are looking at. They will say that we will share you at what place what should happen. So when you are developing a requirement document or requirement piece of the requirement, you can to explain those requirement, initially you can give certain placeholder. The placeholder may look like this. Okay, where you are not well aware of the shape because it has not come from the customer yet. So you are just typing here back button placeholder. Okay, placeholder, or you call it anything. I mean, fetch button placeholder. Okay, or you will call it that input table placeholder. Okay, it can be any sort of placeholder. With me so far, where you are not aware of exact diagram. Yes, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Are you understanding, guys? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, this will be called as low fidelity UI diagram, low fidelity UI prototype. What it will be called as? Such
Low
diagram will be
fidelity.
called as
Low fidelity.
Low fit.
low fidelity
Low
UI wireframe.
fidelity.
Yeah. Now, so here in this case, what happens? You have no idea what exactly the real shape will look like. However, if they will say input diagram, they may also say that customer information input diagram. Okay. Now you know that customer will come up definitely with its name. Okay. Name. It may come up with the age. Okay. It may come up with the sex or gender. All right, all this information will go, and with this help you create a placeholder, or you create one diagram which cannot be exactly as customer wants, but it may somewhere close to that, and there is a subject to change into that. That may happen on later on. Okay, because you are unsure of it and you still develop some object which can be understood, such wireframe will be called as medium fidelity wireframe. What it will be called as?
medium
What it will be?
fidelity.
UI wireframe. Okay, with me so far? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, because it was low and medium, in some cases directly what happens, data migration happens, the complete transition happens. Same application has to be compatible with the advanced operating system, advanced memory, advanced RAM, and its other operating systems as well. Okay, in that, because it is transitioning, what you need to do is that you need to simply snip. What do you need to do? Simply because you are knowing that how exactly the things look like, what you may do is that, uh, let me see if I come up with this. I'm going to do something. Okay, yeah. So what I'll do, customer asks, okay, there should be a file button and home and XYZ things should be visible, and these menu should be there in the menu item of the application. What do you know? Because you know about that how it should look like. What do you do that in the requirement document or in the user story of that piece of the requirement? Simply you go back, and while you are explaining, you are also showing the exact diagram how it should look like. Okay, you have snipped from the older application, marked it available for the new requirement document, or just copied it from the existing requirement document. In the new requirement document, make it available like this, because it is more vivid, more visible. Such kind of UI prototype will be called as high fidelity UI prototype. What it will be called as?
High
High
fidelity prototype.
fidelity UI
UI
prototype.
prototype. Any questions so far? And low, medium, high fidelity UI wireframe?
Gaurav, I have a question.
Yeah,
So, sorry about my throat. I have a bad throat.
no
Um,
problem. Please.
when we make these visual models, the wireframe or the mock-up, on what tools are we making this? Like, is it same Visio or PowerPoint or
You choose, you can choose any tool. You can choose lucidchart.com. You can
okay,
choose MS Visio. You can choose nowadays Canva. You can choose even Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel.
okay,
Wherever you wish, you can create that, because so many tools have come for one activity. It's all your choice or company choice. Yeah.
okay. All right, got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The good point is that now, because I gave you the example of a UI UX team, definitely you can reach to them for any complex, representation of any graphics, get it from them, and then you make it happen for the requirement document. Or in case of tickets, when we say ticket, every single item which is raised as incident, user story, or epic, or task or subtask, everything will be termed as a ticket, which will have the identification number into that tools. Just refer to the UI UX team about the number of those ticket and tell them kindly upload those into that ticket number, and they will be happily doing that. In case they need to take time, simply assign that ticket to them with the comment that you need to do this activity. As a business analyst, you will be doing this activity. You will be assigning to them. Okay, got
Okay,
it?
yeah, I
Yeah,
got that. Thanks.
cool. Thank you for asking. Now let's go back to this one. Okay, WBS chart. Okay, now in project management, generally it is being used where you explain one large application and it's one entity, and you explain that branch, and that happens with every single branch. Say for example, you are developing a banking system, banking or online banking. Okay, now it will have project management, it will have requirement gathering, it will have design analysis, it will have site software development, testing, and production. Now you will be further elaborating one branch and to a sub branch, and thereby to a sub branch. So, for example, you are elaborating here opening bank account. Okay, so site software development. Now, in site software development, there will be multiple activities. Say for example, I'm not developing this. I'm developing design and analysis. Design and analysis will be multiple branch. It will have the card, it will have the customer, it will have the account, it will have the transfer, it will have loans. Okay, likewise, and further everything will be developed. That will become the part of design and analysis for the functionality point of view. But when you are developing site software and development, it will have multiple activities like HTML design and creation, backend software, and then graphic and interface, and then content creation. Now here it has developed backend software. Now backend, you are developing a database, you are developing any API or middleware development. Okay, you are making sure that it is quite secured. Okay, you are making sure that its catalog engine is taken care by the database administrator, and you are also making sure that transaction processing happens in the backend as well, so that it can be reflect back to the front end. So every single piece as a project manager, or if you are given as a business analyst to elaborate, this is one of the also it is called as tree chart. Okay, using that you can explain it further, or and this is also called as WBS chart. It means what is the full form of WBS chart?
The work breakdown structure.
Yeah, so this is how you can explain it. So this is only one wing has been elaborated. So this is how you can elaborate multiple wings. In case in one page you cannot elaborate, you can simply take the numerical representation of that and making them parent. You can explain them further, indicating that its actual parent is some other node, or simply you can explain one parent to child to the sub child. Okay, and the grandchild. Likewise, you can go ahead and present that. With me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
wherever necessary. Now it comes very interesting one is that every communication needs to be designed, and so this is called as leap towards visual thinking. When I say visual thinking, it means any guesses what is visual thinking?
Diagrams, mock-ups, all that.
Okay. So visual thinking, what do you understand by visual thinking? Of course, any kind of a diagram, but how it is created, how what happens in this visual thinking? Any guesses? Any random guesses, guys? Come on.
Imagination.
But what you will do to that imagination? What you will do?
Design. Okay.
You
Convert that
convert it to design.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you seen that when I talk about anything, generally, I don't know, I have been in this class or not. Whenever say I'm explaining something, say for example, I'm going to explain a cup. Okay. Imagine this is a cup. Okay. And it is holding something, some liquid into that. And when I'll ask, what will happen when some cracks come into this? Okay. Some cracks randomly come into this. What will happen?
Water will leak.
Water will
Water
spill.
will leak. But while I'm explaining and asking you question, am I also not designing this?
Yes.
What I
Yes.
am speaking, while I am speaking, I'm also designing. This simple representation to convey the communication is termed as here visual thinking. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. Now let's go back to the next one. Okay. The next one says like this. Okay. Now, because you have learned so many visual modeling, now here comes the another one. There are multiple docs and templates that few you as a business analyst create, few testers create, few other people create into the team. So project vision document, it says that not necessary, but should be known reason, and product owner may ask for help. So generally product owner will create this document and they may ask for your help. Then requirement management plan, where you will be managing entire requirement storage and expression in this document, and you will elaborate that. I'll be sharing that requirement management plan document with you. You can just simply have a look at it and you try to create like that whenever necessary. This will be a template that you need to just fill. as per the right information. There is a user stories. Now, how to create user stories, you are well aware of that. Now, so these are few document I am going to look at it. Why to explain it here? Let's go one by one. So project vision document contains introduction, description of user who all are going to use, who all will be the project holder, the small product overview, and what will the feature of it, then what is the product requirement, is there any constraint or limitation, and what all the quality gate documentation will become the part of the final delivery that will come under the project vision document. With me so far, everyone? Yeah? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next document comes requirement management plan, where you will define the purpose, who will be responsible for what items, what tools you are going to use, and procedure to use them, approach to define the requirement, and there in this you will also embed the requirement traceability document, which will be generally created by testers, and you will also mention some workflows and activities wherever necessary, and in case any change management is going to take place, how it will flow, you will be mentioning that, and that will again part of the fillable template. Okay. Then comes when you write use cases, the use case will always have the entry criteria and exit criteria, who will become the part of that use case, who will be performing that, so those will be termed as actor. You will define this. Trigger will be the actually entry criteria. Is there any precondition that requires to be fulfilled? Then alternative flow. Now this document can be the either the separate document and can or it can be embedded into the requirement document itself. Now, in this use case, you will also define the alternative flow. Say, for example, if you need to save this document, you press Control and S. So that is one thing. Second, you may click on file button and then click on the save, or when you will have this you want to save at separate name, you want to save it at separate location, you click on save as. Okay. And then you browse. So there are three alternate flows to save one document. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Yes or yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
So likewise, you explain alternative flows for any use case, any exception when it will not work or on any screen, you will mention that. Is there any special requirement for this use case to trigger that you will follow that will somewhere related to precondition to this as well, or any mandatory field has to be fulfilled, then only this use case will work. Any notes and issues which is known and you want your audience to know, you will mention in that document. Then how would you write user story? We have explained it already. Okay. Then comes to the business requirement document. Okay. uh, Okay, so business requirement document, even I'll share that with you. There you will only talk about the requirement document, means how the requirement is, what the requirement is, who will be using those requirement and not. So this will look like something this, where you describe the project, you will uh, mention the name, who has created, again its version name, who when created, who created, describe it, any what is the scope, then what is in scope, what is out of scope, then who will be driving this entirely, then you will define the process, and do you need to propose any, what is the functional requirement into it, what are the priorities that you will define. To define the priority, there is a, always to define the scope, there is a formula to which we call it as a Moscow. What do we call it as?
Moscow.
Moscow.
Moscow. And what is the full form of Moscow?
Must
Mm-hmm. Go
uh
ahead. What is the full form of Moscow? What is the full form of Moscow?
so it's used to prioritize
Yeah,
the
this is for prioritization purpose. MO
yes.
is
So
for the
Must
most
must,
important.
must have, should have.
yeah, should,
Yeah,
and
Could, could,
could,
yeah, and won't.
Won't, right. So it is most important or must do. Okay. S is for should do, CO is for the could do, and W is for won't do. Okay. So that defines the priority of that. Okay. User story, you know how to develop that. BRD, I showed you. And now let's go into another document which will be developed by whom? Let's look at it. Okay. This is called as, okay, what happened? Wait a second, guys. Okay. Come on. I don't want this. Yeah. So this is a requirement traceability matrix, which requirement is mentioned where that will be developed here in the RTM. Okay, so where requirement ID from the requirement document and then its explanation and what exactly is this functional requirement, whether it is developed or not, that will go under status and in which document its reference is there, the document name will appear, is its reference in the technical specification document is there as well, that name will go here. Then software module, which module it is representing to, cash withdrawal, cash deposit, fund transfer, ECS or NACHA or IMPS, what sort of. So this is few example I gave you as under the module name, you will be mentioning that. Then what under what test case number or sorry what all test case numbers will be identified in these requirement ID, you will be mentioning that, and when it has to be tested, the testers will mention that. So because it is going more narrower towards the testing team develops that, it may come back to you for the approval purpose. For what purpose it may come back, this document?
Approval purpose.
Yes, for approval purpose. Absolutely right. Let's move to the FRD and FRS. So in BRD, the requirement are high level, but in FRS, functional requirement specification document or functional specification document, they are written in many more details to capture each and every aspect of requirement. Thus, a functional specification document becomes a more technical, accurate, and descriptive requirement document owing to their technical nature. These are used equally used by developers, testers, and business stakeholders of a project. Okay, so now either you develop one document completely and break it down into multiple tickets and log it into the project management system. Likewise, this is more technical, system specification requirement document or system requirement specification document or system requirement document, SRS or SRD. So these are related to hardware, software. Here you mention more about how the complete system has to function, and this document elaborates on requirement from perspective of observational behavior only and does not consider technical or design bias in the system specification document. Now this will be developed by test case. Now you can, when you will listen to the recording or refer to the recording, you can design this document in a way or you can remember this, that when testers have created this, you can ask where you have mentioned test case ID, if it is anything missing, scenario, prerequisite, test data or step or expected result and actual result or status or any remark, any column or where they are planning to test. Okay, generally status will be updated when these test cases have been executed. If not, this will not be mentioned, or actual result will also not be mentioned if the testing has not been done. So these are the few parameter that you will find in the test case document. So I will tell you few documents I'll be sharing with you, and I'll tell you that you just go through the recording as well, and wherever you find necessary you can take the screenshot, because the constraint on me is to not to share the PPT as it being the Guru School's property, but definitely when you are referring to the recording, you can definitely pause it, take the screenshot of it. But yeah, definitely the recommendation is to go through again the entire thing. Any questions so far, guys? Yes, no?
Yes. So I have
Go
one.
ahead, Sweta.
So
Yes.
where do we get this case ID or whatever ID? Is it so when we are writing the user stories, so that's where we get those IDs from, or
Okay.
like
So user story where you will be creating in the document or in the project management system or incident management system.
Not on a Word document or but wherever,
Okay.
maybe in Jira or whatever
Maybe
tool that.
Jira, yeah.
Yeah.
So all this ID, if you are putting into the system, when I say system, it means the application, like you said, Sweta, Jira,
Mm-hmm.
or say Azure DevOps or
Mm-hmm.
any other software. So
Mm-hmm.
these IDs are auto generated initially. Okay, but if you want some prefix for its identification, you can define the prefixes, because every single field in every single tool are configurable. Okay, so for such tools there is always an admin who can design or configure an element or field for you. Okay, so if you want, you have created user stories as well, and you have created test case as well. Okay, just for example, so you
Mm-hmm.
can tell your admin that say for Jira admin, okay, hey Mr. Admin, I want to create user stories for my project, and my project name start with P, and P and T, okay, initial or end, or
Mm-hmm.
it has two projects. So say for example, give me um, say
Yes.
for
But
example,
yes.
there is a name called Panton. Panton,
Okay.
Panton,
Mm-hmm.
six letter, and I abbreviate as PT. Okay, and if I'm creating user story for that, so my user story should start with this, and then ID number will be auto generated from starting from 001. Okay, so he
Mm-hmm.
will make sure that all the user story you are creating, the auto by default new number will get generated with this prefixes PTUS. The same will go for test case. You need to pass the instruction to the configurable to the configuration team, to the tool admin team. All right, Sweta. And generally such instructions are passed already by the product owner or project manager.
So
Yeah.
is this kind of a document that the test case is a document? It's not like what I'm thinking. It's like when I'm writing a user story about a test case that has to be performed, right? So are we talking about that, or just, the
You are
document?
mixing two
Uh,
things. Ask me one
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Are you talking about user story, or you are talking about test case?
Yeah, that's where I'm confused because
Do
uh
you know how user stories are written?
yeah, yeah.
You are aware of that, how
Uh-huh.
user stories are written?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Wait a second. Let me go back. User stories are written like this, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
Okay. When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to test cases are not written like this. Okay. But test case will have these many input area. Okay.
So this is a document that we are creating, huh?
Either
That
you can create a document, or the what you call, the project management tool will create such form for you where you will fill those form.
okay, so if I'm using Jira, so where will I create this test case in Jira?
Okay, so when you will create a Jira,
Mm-hmm.
then test case will ask for the description. It will ask for the title. In the description itself, you can mention prerequisite. Okay, and you may use test data. Now, when you are using Jira also have multiple utilities like Zypher. Okay, what it is called as? I said Zypher. Okay. So there are test management tools as well. So Jira coordinates with them. They engages with such tools or utility, which will give you or allow you to fetch such form. Okay. Where so in Jira, what will happen? Let me allow this. Okay. In Jira, when you are creating a ticket, it will auto generated one test case ID, and there will be a title. There you will be mentioning the test scenario, say for example, or test case. Okay, test case. Now what will happen is that below that there will be description box. In the description box you mention prerequisite. Okay, you mention test step. Okay, and further you mention expected result. Okay, while you are executing, you will be referring the same test case ID, and if actual result is there, you can mention actual result. Okay, and you can upload the upload what, upload the screenshot or proof of that, and mention in that in which environment it was created. That may happen in the Jira in the simple ticket. Okay, test case ticket. That's number one way to create such test case. Okay, number two way is that this test case or uh, Jira integrates with another tool. Say, for example, it is integrating with ALM, which used to be called as QC, HPQC, Quality Center. QC stands for Quality Center. Now, it is more into the related to testing I am talking about. Okay. So, it will integrate with that. The same Jira may also integrate with the Zypher. Zypher is another tool. The same Jira may also integrate with the Excel. Okay, you have maintained this all thing in the grid form in the Excel, and you can upload that into Jira. The same Jira may integrate with another application. Its name is Mantis, or its name is Rally, or its name is anything. There are multiple test management tool, and these test management project can manage, and there are multiple. In what will happen if these test management tools are not there? In the bare minimum case, you will mention these minimum information into Jira, and you will go ahead with that. Okay, with me so far, Shweta?
So, as a business analyst, I am creating this test case in Jira. Like I'm just writing
as
user
as a
stories
business
as
analyst, generally you won't create the test case.
yeah,
Okay.
that's why yeah, that was my question. Like as a business analyst, how am I doing this, you know? What is my contribution is in just writing a user story for this test case, or like how am I
No, 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 no. Okay, okay. Wait. I think you are confusing here. Wait a second. Let me come back. Wait
mm-hmm,
a second. Now try to understand. The flow is missing over here, what I see, and
mm-hmm.
that's the reason I need to explain you the flow here. Wait a second. Wait, I'm explaining the flow to you.
Mm-hmm.
Come on here. Yeah. Okay, the flow is that any requirement comes to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Understand here.
Mm-hmm.
Any requirement comes to you, who knows about it first? Who
The
knows?
product owner or
Product owner.
yeah.
Product owner. They conveys to the team. They
Mm-hmm.
form the team. Okay.
Right.
Now you become the part of that. You need to go more in detail and conduct the interview, and you gather the requirement. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you gather the requirement, now that requirement is more visible, but product owner has the knowledge that what all the requirement on the high level he has to create. Okay, so depending upon the sprint, he will create the epics, various
Right.
epics. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
epics is the large piece of the
User story.
most largest, the
Mhm.
largest requirement. Okay, so
Right.
he creates epic 1, epic
Mm-hmm.
2, epic 3, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now inside every epic is at the higher level. Every epic is the at the what do you call it?
Highest level. Yeah.
Yeah, at the higher level. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now say for example, if this is the epic, okay, of fund transfer, okay,
Mm-hmm.
in banking.
Mm-hmm.
Now the fund transfer are done in various methods. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to write user story for IMPS,
Mm-hmm.
okay, or convert this into um, convert this into the fund transfer into IMPS, or say it is NEFT, it is ACH, ECS, and so many others will be there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. Now, what will happen is that these under Epic, you have created multiple user story, or say
Right.
these are the features.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, call them as a features. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in these features now you will be developing the user story. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
one user story, it says that I need to transfer. Okay, user story one, it says that I need to transfer from X to Y. It's another one says that I should transfer to the new beneficiary. Okay, another says that I need to transfer beyond the limit because you're checking for beyond the limit. Okay, one is checking that I need to transfer within the limit. Okay, you are creating for that. Okay, another one is saying that I want this transfer to happen to the existing user. Okay, one I said for new user, another one is for the existing user, existing beneficiary, and one was I said for adding new beneficiary. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so one feature, one epic has one epic has one feature, but in fact one epic have three features.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and every features may have five or six user story,
Correct.
not more than that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
now every user story will be given a task to be done by the developer team. They will
Mm-hmm.
code around it. The
Yeah.
tester team, they will test around it. Okay, the other UI UX team, then database team, then architect team, then so on. It will continue to elaborate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one user story, the task is given to multiple team member. Now every team member will have the multiple task. One will be the coding task, one will be the code freezing task, one will be the test case creation task, one will be the test execution task. So now till here you are doing writing user story. Okay, but writing the test case is not your part, but yeah, definitely you can create the task and subtask and assign to the respective team members
Okay.
in Jira. Okay, so you
Oh,
understood here, you don't have to contribute as such. Okay, but
yeah.
if needed and you feel like, definitely you should have the information so that you know how to create it. Did you get it now? You understood the flow?
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah.
So what? I mean, do you want to say something else?
So, yeah, that's what, my question was. Yes, I understand, how these user stories can be written, and as a business analyst, I can write user stories for the testers also, right? So,
Yeah.
so
User story
my
you only have to
contribution.
write, and you don't have to
Okay,
write for
but
testers
use
also.
cases have to be for
You said
testing.
user story or use case. I'm so
No, no,
much.
she
Please.
said use. This is Anushri here. She said
Okay.
user story. I think for testing purposes, use cases might have to be written by the business analyst at
Okay.
times.
Wait. Let's complete the user story. Any question in the user story further?
No, no.
Okay.
Because user story is by business analyst itself, right?
Yeah. So even use case can be written by this team, what you call business
Testing.
analyst team.
Yeah,
When you are
business analyst.
documenting every single thing, then use case and all everything you will create in one document.
Yeah,
Earlier used to be use case should be one document. Okay. Now things have been agile and you are not bothered much about the use case because you have broken down even use case at a minute level that it is emerging with the user story where use cases are being taken care under the user story. So separately, you need not to create the use case for that.
correct.
But if you are following, hybrid module or major documentation, heavy documentation, customer need, they want all the documentation, give it to me, produce that, and you need to follow that. Then you should have the knowledge that how
Mm,
it has to be
yeah.
created because
Oh,
you never know in what sort of company you are going, what kind
right.
of customer you are dealing with. But
Oh,
yeah, today in the modest way and in the modern technology emerging and embracing customers, they are relying more towards the agile and the richest way where the feedback loop is higher, and where the feedback loop is higher, where they are continuously interacting with you when they are embracing agile.
right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with me so far.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Anushri and Shweta both are okay, satisfied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with the
Yeah.
user story. So, in this agile model, only a user story has to be provided to the development and the technology testing team, right? Ideally. And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
would
yeah.
use that to prepare the test cases.
Yeah. So when Sweta said that I need to write user story for the tester, no, you will only write one user story. Okay. And one user story will be assigned with every single person, under which there will be task for them. Okay. User story one, and attach a task for the developers, task for tester, task for architect, task for database administration, task for UI UX team. You will only close your task, you will not close the user story. User
Correct.
story will only be closed when all the tasks and subtasks inside it will be closed by the assignee who owns those tasks.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you take the review of this, the entire task has come together and completed by them, then you can close the user story. However, for developers task, developer manager can take the they can review the codes, they can review the functionality. Testers have passed all those activity, you can rely on the tester because tester have passed everything. Then you can go ahead during the review, you just check the functionality. If tester has passed and closed, it means the integration is working, UI UX is working, everything is fine. In final run, you, for your satisfaction, you will check under all the tasks, subtasks are closed, and you check the functionality as well. During the review, you are satisfied, or you take the demonstration from the team or tester, then you can go ahead and close the user stories one by one by one by one. With me so far?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, any further question?
No, I think enough for
Today
today.
I thought I would close it well before time, but still we are 10 minutes overrun. I would like you to go back in the WhatsApp group, type in your name and write one word, that what do you feel like saying. Okay, one word. Did you were you able to relate, connect, understand all those things? Plus one very important thing, I'll be sharing definitely recording with you, but you know, recording involves lot many things. Uh, Recording gets generated on Zoom, it gets rendered, it takes time, it produces 8 to 16 types of recording material in the different ways. Now, other team will analyze all the recordings, they filter out the best one, and they will upload it. They will identify the caption, description, titles, and details, and they look for the thumbnails and then cards and another references to include into that, and then what will be the endpoint of these all. And then when they upload it, then they wait for the rendering process on the YouTube. From there they fetches the link and then they share with me, and that I provide it to you. I just simply copy paste or just forward it. And for that all effort, what they expect from you, one like and one comment. And if it doesn't happen, you guys need to come back and ask for me, okay, that last week I did not get the recording, that last week I did not, that recording is missing. That only gets missed because they don't feel motivated. Now motivation with your one like and comment relies with you only, it lies with you only. You need to motivate them. Okay, keep on giving us uh, give us and well in time. Okay, guys, I need to go on to another call. So I take your permission. You go ahead and drop in your attendance over there, and my request, please take care of that. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Good
Thank
night to
you,
you all.
Gaurav.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye. Good night.